Alright, I pretty much got the front of this motor tore down. I've got everything off except for the harmonic balancer and the cover to the chain. First I'm going to take these pulleys off. You got 4 bolts up that holds it on, I think. 1, 2, there's 4 bolts that hold it on. Once I get the pulley off, then I'll show you how to take the harmonic balancer off. Alright, I'm back on this timing chain. I got most of the engine tore down on the front. I got to take this harmonic balancer off and the timing chain cover, which is pretty simple. You just got these bolts here, and you want to take out like 2 or 3 of your oil pan bolts in front here, because you got a seal that goes around the bottom in between the pan and this timing chain cover, and sometimes that can be a bitch, man. So what I usually do is I'll loosen up the first few bolts on each side of the oil pan, and it's like wedge me a flathead screwdriver in on each side, just to kind of separate them a little bit. I'm gonna try to get this center bolt out, which was very simple. Now I've got that out. Now you've got to take what you call a gear puller. Actually, this is it right here. This bolts on right here. You just take it and you bolt this part on. You run you some screws through it and tighten them down. And this end right here pushes against the crankshaft, while this right here draws out and brings your harmonic balancer out with it. I can't find the end piece that goes to this, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to find like an old nut or something to stick on the end of it, so that way it doesn't gouge my threads and shit all up inside the crank. So let me do that. I'm going to try to find a nut to fit that, and I need to find some screws so I can bolt this to it and get back. Alright, I've got this gear puller here. I don't have an end for this gear puller, so instead of this running through here and screwing all my threads up on my crank and shit, I found me a big just a lug nut that I'm going to stick up right there in front of it. That way this end right here won't go through the bolt hole and screw my threads all and screw up my threads and everything, and then I won't be able to get my bolt back in, and that'd be pretty not good. So right now I'm gonna just get you a gear puller like this one, man. You can go to AutoZone or something, rent one if you ain't got one, because that's about the only way you're gonna get this pulley off is with this here. This is an old one I've had for a long time. Just run you a couple of bolts through each end. I'm going to crank them down tight. Let me get my ratchet. I got air ratchet, but I just don't want to hear that compressor running, man. So besides, I need to quit doing everything the lazy way. On account of that lug nut being a little long, I'm not going to be able to bolt this flush with the balancer, but it's always best that you try to bolt it all the way against it. Alright. Just stick this on the end of it, man. This would be a lot easier than crank it on it. Oh shit, wrong way. I'm going to set this camera down because I don't want this to fall. I guess it's still filming. Yeah. Now when you're tearing your engine down, man, you want to make sure that you remember which bolt went where. And so you got this studded bolt sticking out right here in this spot. So evidently there's a bracket or something that bolts to that, so you need to make sure you put that back where it belongs. Out of breath like hell, man. Keep all your bolts together. Go in there, damn it. Alright. Screw this back in here and get my socket off of it. Alright, what you want to do now is you want to go up underneath, like I said before, and take some of your oil pan screws out. Go back about 3. If you have to take 4 out, that's alright. You know, you want to separate the pan from this cover as much as possible, because it's got that rubber lip that goes in between them, which are junk, and if you don't put them in right and seal them up good, they leak and they suck, man. Some people just don't even put them in there. They just run a bead of silicone across the bottom of the oil pan, and if mine don't want to cooperate, that might be what I'll be doing. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these bolts loosened up on this pan. You probably don't want to watch me do all that, but as soon as I'm done with that, then I'll get back. I'm gonna pull this cover off and take a look at the chain and see what's going on, man. I shall return. Alright, I've got the oil pan bolts out. Just gonna take this hose off here, man, because it's in the way of that cover coming off. Get it out the way real quick. Sometimes this shit can be, it's a fucking knuckle buster, man. Put this shit up out the way. Lay it on top of the engine for now. Okay, I took like 3 bolts out of each side on the oil pan, so I can get this to pop off here. Done got it popped loose, so just go ahead and take it off. Let's see what this chain looks like. And see, it's supposed to be tight on one side. That should be super tight, but it's not. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go over here and take my number 1 plug out and bring my number 1 cylinder up and get this shit out the way. Make sure my tiny marks are still lined up, which, let's see, okay, there's the tiny mark on the top gear. Slide over here, and I'm gonna have to turn that crank. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pop with this plug out here, and bring this number 1 piston up dead center, and we'll see if my marks are still lined up, which I'm pretty sure they're not. I'm pretty sure that's my whole problem. Like I said, I put a chain in this, hell, it was probably 10 years ago, but I ain't really put that many miles on it, man. I mean, for it to be going out again already and shit, so I guess that's what you get for buying a cheap chain. I might go ahead and stick me a double roller in here. I mean, I really wasn't going to do much with this motor, but I ain't made up my mind yet whether I'm going to put just another stock one back in it, or I might go ahead and put a double in it if I can. I don't know if I can, on account of, I don't know if there'll be enough room in between that fuel pump arm and the chain itself, so it's a good possibility it might not even work. So I'm gonna pop this plug out real quick and I'll be right back. Okay, I got my marks lined up, and from the way it's looking, like, still in time to me. You can barely see, but You see the little dot right there on that, and it's straight up and down with the dot at the top. So I don't see where it's jump time any, so I don't know what in the hell is making this thing crank like it is. I mean, I can go ahead and put a new chain in it, but I don't think it's going to make any difference. Son of a bitch. Okay, well, I guess I'll go ahead and start putting this thing back together. So I don't even know if I'm even going to post this video. So anyways, I was going to show you, once you get your top gear and everything off in your chain, a lot of people, they'll go out and try to find pullers and try to find different ways to get this bottom gear off. Just take you a good sharp chisel and a hammer, a hammer with a little bit of weight to it. Put your chisel on there and smack it a couple times with that hammer, and that gear will just break in two and fall on the floor. It's old hot rod's trick. So alright,